So a lot of people asked for a 5 tips video, so I thought I'd end up making one for you guys. So first of all, I'd like to say that everything I'm going to say here is just like my opinion of what I figured out from practicing over the years, and different things work for different people, but this is just how I got fast. So first I want to talk about how to practice. I really recommend that you practice with a good cube that's really fast and can turn really well. Some people recommend that you could use like cubes that don't cut corners as well, because it'll help improve your turning accuracy, but I really think it's a better idea just to use a cube that you're going to use in competition. Same with cubes that don't turn as fast, just to practice finger strength, but I think it's best to get used to the cube you're going to use so you can adjust to it and not have to readjust when you're going to use your better cube. Also, when you practice, I really just sit down and do a bunch of solves for an hour or two. That's pretty much all I do. I'll do like an average of 50 or 25 on 5-5, just doing solves over and over again, which really works for me. Things you might want to focus on: if you're locking up or pausing a lot, you might want to focus on turning a little slower and trying to go smoothly, because things like that aren't really necessarily much faster than just turning smooth like this. Also, you want to make sure you focus on look ahead. The real plan and overall for 5-5 is you don't want to be thinking about the current step you're working on. You want to look at the cube, see what the moves you have to do, and execute them mindlessly while you're looking for your next step you're about to do. So that'll help reduce your pauses. Also, another thing about 5-5 is that because of just how the puzzle's set up, how good people are now, you can't really stop ever when you're solving it. To get a good solve nowadays, you have to pretty continuously be doing something at all times. So that's a pretty important thing to remember. Because on 6x6 and 7x7, there's more give for pausing. So right now I'm going to talk about centers first. Okay, so the basic method for centers, there's a couple different things you can do. So the first thing is the bar method, which is probably what most of you do already and is most basic. So what you do is, your goal here is just, so I'm going to do the red center. The goal here is just to line up 3 bars and then put it in place. So here I have the first bar, and I can make bar number 2, put it in, and then bar number 3. That's the very first method. That's pretty basic. That's just, and the other method would be, I don't know what it's called, but I'll do red center again. You instead of doing bars, you go for a 2x1 here, and then you fill it in for a 2x2, and then you get a 3x2, and then you do the last bar as a bar, and then you fill in the center like that. So that's just the basic methods for those. You should already be familiar with probably both of those. If not, this might be a little advanced video for you right now. But I'll give you a couple of tricks for those that I've learned. One of my favorite tricks is definitely the T for the bar method, or I guess really either one. Also, another thing to notice is that you really don't want to set out doing either bars or the other method to do your centers. You really want to be able to adapt to whatever situation's better, because in 5-5 it's going to be very different, and every single center, and you want to be able to, you really need to know the lowest move count possible to be able to do it. And limiting yourself to only one of the methods is not going to be the best way. So, tricks for centers. So there's the T method, or the T trick, which is when you have a T. This is my favorite trick. When you have a T here, you can easily get 2 bars by finding a centerpiece, like right here, and then just going, or just, I'll take this one for example. So you take this centerpiece, and then you just slide it down to make a second bar, and then you have 2 bars. And that's really easy. Another pretty simple trick that I'm sure a lot of you already knew is similar to the T method, just like an L. When you have this pattern here, instead of doing, if you have this centerpiece here, you can get the 2x2 block like this. That's really slow. Instead, you're going to want to do, you can just bring it down like this and then go up like that to get your 2x2 block. And that's much faster. Oh, okay, next thing is, when you're doing block building, or bar building, say you have 2 corners like this, that are diagonal to each other, and then you have an edge piece up here. You can go like this, form the bar, which is pretty short and easy, but even though it's a higher move count, I tend to like doing it like this because it's really fast if you do it like this. Because you have the piece here, especially if you're right-handed and you have it set up like this, you can just go, and then you get your bar. So I'll do it slower. So you pretty much, you move this up to get the 2x1 with this piece, and then you do a U2, and then you move this up to get that. Oops. So it's just like, then you have your bar. The next is, you can do your, there's another trick that will set you up to get a T position. It's, alright. Okay, so this is what I call the almost T. If you have this, and then you have two center pieces here, you can make the T easily like this. And then you have the T position, and you can just get the second bar like that. Okay, so another cool trick to do when you're doing center is kind of like a different style of doing it. Is if you ever see a position where you have two centers like this. There are two centers like this already set up, and say you have this already here. So what you want to get is two more 2x1s to go in here, and it's really nice if you have two corners like this set up. So what you want to do, instead of like finding one and then putting it in and then finding another one and putting it in, it's much faster if you just find, so you found one, you can find one corner here, and you find another corner here, you just match them up, and then you can put them in like that, and then you get your two bars already. Other tricks. Okay, that's really about it for basic tricks. A more advanced technique for centers is doing multiple centers at the same time. This is kind of tricky because on 5x5 there's really not that much to work with, so it's really easy to get mixed up if you try and do more than one center at the same time. I really wouldn't recommend it too much unless there's like a huge easy center like already done. So here, I'll set it up for example. So say you're doing yellow center. So you're almost done with the yellow center, and then you see that green center, you already got 2x2, and you got this piece right here. So instead of trying to finish the yellow center, what you could do really easily is you could just set up your 3x2 here for later, and then you put it like this. Well, the key is here that you already have this block here, so you're not moving any of this anymore. So when you put it here, this isn't going to get messed up when you finish your yellow center. So then you can go finish your yellow center, and then you already have your green center set up like this. Also, in this, another trick I just noticed, in this situation, so you're going to finish your green center, and it's really tempting to go, like, you're just going to match these up like this. But, as you notice, there was a white bar right here. There was a setup like this here before, and you ruined that. So what you wanted to have done is something like, so you had this. So you can preserve this white bar here, which is really nice for the last few centers, by it's a little more moves, but it's very worth it. And then you have this already, and you can just get your two bars like that. Okay. Another thing is the last two centers. Here's the last two centers. What you want to do is you really are looking for. Well, usually what you go for first is you go for the actually. Scratch what I just said. You're really just trying to build a 3x2 as fast as possible, because usually you can go straight to that. Like in this situation, you can just go straight to 3x2 like that. Or there's like the T situation, where you can go like that. Or if you have like this, if you have a bar over here, there's always gonna be two lined up. There's really too many tricks to just like show you what to do, but they're really easy to figure out. Also, a good thing to have on last two centers is knowing when to use your left hand. So like say you did something and you ended up like this. Or you ended up, I don't know, I can't really set it up right now. There'll be certain instances when it'll be more cumbersome to like do a front two like this. Or yeah, you say you have, I don't know, okay. In some instances, to use your right hand you have to do this and then go like that. But you really want to be able to do turns like this, because that'll save you like half a second, which is over time helps with it. And that's what I love about centers. Okay, so for edges, here, overall for edges, there's, I just want to say one option for edges on big cubes that a lot of people like to do is building all their edges on one face first. So this means that, instead of just like putting in the edges wherever you can find space for them, you build all your edges on one face first, so then you don't have to spend time. So like right now, I have all 4 of these edges already done. So I know that if I'm looking for the last blue-white piece here, it's going to be somewhere around here, and I never have to look like this anymore. So it just happens right there. But that's really nice when you're setting it up. When you're doing the first 4 edges, it kind of takes more time because you have to, like, if you have this, you want to put it here, you have to turn it over to put it in. But overall, it helps out some people. On bigger cubes like 6 and 7, I really like that. But on 5, I don't normally use it. But it's really up to you. So for edges, so there's basic edge techniques. So I'll just show you a couple. Like, so right here you have the red, green, and red, green. You have 2 of the pieces there, so that's good. So you want to look for the last piece, and it's right here. So say it was easy to put it in like this. So you have this. So what you want to do here is you just slice over to set these 2 up, flip, and you put it back and you're done. There really aren't too many edge tricks that I know, except, oh, okay, here's a edge thing that you really want to look out for. Here, okay, so one of the edge things you want to look out for is when your edges look really easy for some reason. Like, say you happen to get set up with something that looks like, like this. So you have 2 of these, you have 2 of these, and you have 2 of these. The thing to do here is to think, wow, these are really easy, this is going to be really fast, I should just try and finish all of them. But in reality, it's kind of hard to keep track of so many things at one time. And what I like to do is, in this situation, I just ignore this one completely. And I just focus straight on this one and not really care if I mess this up. Because in my experience, if you have 3 things going at one time, it's kind of hard to keep track of them. Especially if you're looking for 3 different pieces. And it's better to just focus on one. And I could just put that one in there and then switch to this edge over here. You can definitely, the more experienced you are, the easier it is to keep track of more things. But really, you want to make sure you can handle whatever you're trying to do. And don't try anything like too ridiculous, especially if you're in like a competition. But a good trick if you're doing more than one edge at the same time. So like, I don't know, I can't find the green and white piece. But I can see that there's this here, so I want to be able to look for both at the same time. Make sure you don't put it in like this, where the open spots are here and here. You want to put it in like this, so the open spots are parallel, so that you can move this layer without messing up either one. And then you can look for, oh, the orange and white piece is here. I can put it in, and the green and white is still set. That's really most of what I got. Oh, I guess, oh, another cool trick, one of the few tricks I know for edges is that, say you need to flip this piece to get in there. Since these 2 colors are the same, or if the center is solved, you can just go like this, and it's flipped. Instead of doing that algorithm like that, you just go flip, it's in. Okay, also another flipping thing, say you have this. So you need to flip this, and you could go like this and flip, or you realize that here that this one also needs to be flipped. So instead of going like this and flip, you want to make sure you can minimize the amount of flips you have to do by flipping both at once. Okay, now the most tricks I guess are in the last 4 edges. So here, I'll get there. Okay, so the first thing you want to look for, which is the best cases, are, I don't have one right now, I'll make one, are when you have center swaps. So if you have 2 edges like this is really nice because you can find the other piece. So, and if they're the matching colors, you just go up. If they're not matching colors, oops. If they're not matching colors like this, you just go and then you flip it, and that's really fast. Another thing you want to look for is, of course, this, when you have two here. So when you have two here, there's a couple things you can do. And if you have two here, and the one is right next to it, ready to just like slide in like that, you can pull one of the back pieces out and do a 3 cycle like that to put it in, which is really fast. Or you could, that's one option, or you could simply, you can turn it up and then do your standard flip in. Either way. What you want to do, okay, say pretend there's more undone. So for this one, like when you have flip like this, you always want to move it in to solve, then flip, and then put it back to finish the edge. Okay, also, okay, just one more special case is when, here I'll set it up real quick. Special case is when, this is my favorite case easily because it's really easy, is when you have a 3 cycle. So say you have 3 like this, and they're all set up like this. Instead of like doing your flipping thing, it's really fast, just go put this one in and solve all 3 of the cycle. That's really a lucky case if you get it, and make sure you do that because that's way faster. Also, just another thing you just need to know, you just need to memorize all your last 2 edges cases. So no matter what you see here, you should be able to do one algorithm and solve it. That's pretty basic. You can find those online somewhere. Okay, so after you do your last 2 edges, you're doing 3i3. So aren't too many tricks here because I'm not that good at 3i3. I'm actually terrible. But you want to look for your cross while you're doing your last 2 edges algorithm. That's always helpful. And then what I like to do, because I'm really bad at cross making, if you're also bad at cross making, try and find all, like, do a quick like half-second scan of the cube to find all the cross pieces, and then you can like quickly make an optimal, or like a pretty optimal cross, instead of like fumbling around and like if I fumbled around here, I'd put this red piece in, I put this green piece in, and then be like, oh wait, now I have this orange piece put in, oh, and then I have the blue piece to put in. When in reality, like if I got a random cross, I could be like, oh, I see everything. I can put this, I know this orange goes here, and then the red one can go here. It's just easier. It's usually worth the time. You usually save more time by pausing to look at the cross than you waste by fumbling around with the cross. Also, since you're on 5x5, you're not going to be turning as fast. Since you're doing 5x5 and you're not going to be turning as fast, you really don't want to stop ever during 3x3, just like normal 3x3, but like you really shouldn't stop at all. And then also try and stay away from really fancy finger tricks that you do on 3x3 because they might not work as well. When you get new finger tricks with practice on 5x5. And another thing I like to do is force good OLLs, because dot cases are really bad on 5x5, especially for just any big cube. So like even if I have this scenario where you can just go like this, I would sometimes just go like that to force a better OLL, because it's usually even saves the time because dot cases are awful. And that's really all I got.